guys? Dave back again, No Coast Fantasy Sports with some betting picks for you from June 29th. Today, we had one of the wildest gambling days we've ever had. It was pretty off the wall. The books definitely had some angles on us that we didn't see coming based on some stipulations of some of the tournaments and the events going on in sports. But you live and you learn. You gotta take these as lessons, move on from there. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to get into Tuesday the 29th. Just from Monday, we only had the Dodgers come through for us. So it was a pretty rough day on the diamond. Pirates, Reds, Astros all ended up falling through. It was a pretty wild day. Going into Tuesday, I like the Marlins versus the Phillies. Rogers, he's 7-4. He's got a 2.08 ERA. Velasquez is 2-2 with a 4.74 ERA. The Miami Marlins should get a plus half a run line in the first half. I like going through that. Red Sox money line versus KC. Pivetta 6-3, 4.0 ERA. Keller 6-8, 6.39 ERA. Orioles are 15-25 away. Red Sox 24-17 at home. So I like the Red Sox there. We got the Brewers versus the Cubs. Woodruff 6-3, 1.89 ERA. Davies, who went lights out last time through that no-hitter, he was 5-4. He's got a 4.31 ERA. Cubs are 16-24 away though, and the Brewers are 24-18 at home. So I like the Brewers there with a slightly better record, slightly better pitcher in Woodruff. We got the A's versus the Texans for the last one of the day that I like. Kaprelian, he's 4-1 with a 2.86 ERA. Fulte, he's 1-7 with a 5.4 ERA. The Twins are 10-27 away, and the A's are 25-18 at home. So I like the A's there. NBA, Clippers completely mauled the Suns today from start to finish. The Suns didn't end up coming through on the money line, and then Bridges over 1.5 threes that fell through. Clippers +6 hit, 8 and double hit, and then that Terrence Mann over on threes that I thought was a sneaky bet on that did not hit, I think. I don't know, I might have highlighted that wrong, I apologize. But what I like for Tuesday is we got the Bucks minus 260, 74% to win on the sim. Obviously they're huge favorites. Trae Young might not play tomorrow, so the Bucks will probably blow them out. I got Middleton for props over 23.5. I like that, minus 106. Lopez over 10.5 at minus 112. Holiday over 18.5 at minus 120. The Bucks to win the first half is minus 194, so that's pretty in line with the money line. And then Bucks to win the first half spread minus 3.5, I think is actually pretty solid at minus 106. I think that's pretty high probability of getting there. I think 4 points, the Bucks ahead going into the half is pretty reasonable. If Trae Young is indeed out tomorrow, that news won't hit until midday, most likely. So keep an eye on that if you want to lock that in early. And then if he is in, obviously this will be a lot closer and this line will shift a lot, actually. NHL isn't until Thursday, but we did have the Lightning hit. The Lightning completely torched the Habs. Footy was a completely weird day. So we completely slaughtered on footy today. The reason being, so usually, in addition, when the time is done in soccer, you have make-up time for stoppage, and then usually to goal kicks, and then if there's a draw after that, then it goes to the money line, or then it goes to draw on the money line. But because it's an elimination tournament, how it went is regulation, stoppage time, and then stoppage time directly into overtime, and then kicks. So what ended up happening was there were some brutal comebacks in both the Spain and the France game. Both the games went completely over, two of the highest scoring games that have happened in Euro tournament history. And they both ended up losing the money line, drawing, going into the end of regulation and then winning the game outright. So I'm pretty positive every legal sports book got their support team completely bombarded today with what was going on, my team won, et cetera, et cetera. But when you look into it, there's certain verbiage that's protecting the sports book and laying out this stipulation. So based on this, we're going with a lot of the safer lines tomorrow. And even though you're giving up a little bit of money on your end equity, having that security to have a higher hit rate, in my opinion, is more important in the long run. Because the more you hit, no matter what, the more successful you're going to be, whereas you're being riskier and having a higher probability of losing. At the end, when you're professionally betting, what you really want is to have your highest probable win rate you can. Whether you're nickel and diming or not, it doesn't matter as long as a W is a W, and at the end of the day, you're making more than you're losing, and you're balancing out in a net profit. So, with that being said, tomorrow we like England, draw no bet. They're a 40% chance to win and a 28% chance to draw. Over 2.5 is a 55% chance to hit based on the sim. Sweden, draw no bet, is a 41% chance to win with a 30% to draw. And under 2.5 is 65% to be under regulation as well based on the sim. So that's what I like for tomorrow for Euros. We learned on the mistakes we made today. We're going to do better. We're going to change the process. We're going to evolve on it, and we're going to make the right educated decisions, because that's what you got to do. You got to trust the process, trust the data, trust your research, and build upon it and learn your lessons and go from there so you can be the most profitable you can be. So I got asked by one of my buddies yesterday, hey, Wimbledon, what's up with tennis? Like, do you have any reads on the tennis lines, the big tournament? So did some dives into tennis with some favorites that I think we're cheesing a little bit on the odds marginally, where they should be almost in the higher end of the hundreds towards the almost 200 range, where we're sneaking a few cents on the dollar to get some marginal edge on some lines that should be very favorable to us based on the sims. So I'm going to go through tennis real quick. I kind of broke it down so you can find it respectively at your sportsbook, and then just go from there. But it should be pretty self-explanatory the way I break this down. All right, so Donna Večić over Anastasia Potapova. She's minus 156 and she's 62% to win based on the sim. Alex de Minaur over Sebastian Korda. He's minus 162 and he's 62% to win based on the sim. Venus Williams versus Mihaela B. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. She's minus 120, 58% to win. You can stay away from this if you want. This is probably the lowest percentage to win rate that I put on the sheet for tomorrow. And Venus is in the twilight of her career, but she's facing someone who she should win against, in my opinion. I'm probably going to have this in and then probably have a separate parlay with Venus out and then one with her in, just to kind of cover my bases. Giles Simon over Dusan Lajovic. He's minus 178 with 63% to win based on the sim. Mona Barthel over Lin Zhu is minus 172 with 62% to win. Andrea Petrovic over Jasmine Paolini is minus 178 with 63% to win. Tennis Sandgren over Norbert Gambos is minus 176 with a 63% to win. James Duckworth over Radu Alba is minus 170 with a 63% to win. Alex Bolt over Flip K is minus 164% to win, and minus 164 with 63% to win. And then Bianca Andreescu over Elise Cornet is minus 140 with 60% to win. So, like I said, I'm really just kind of targeting some lines that I think we can get a slight edge on, that we're just getting some marginal numbers per the dollar in our favor. If you don't feel comfortable with any of these, but by all means, go for it. But I'm in kind of bounce back mode after the last 2 days, so we're trying to right the ship, and part of the reason is that's why I call it gambling. You got to take some chances. So next up, we got DFS going. So we got Giannis, in the words of the great 21st century philosopher Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like Giannis. Like him in the MVP, Star Pro, he's at 16K. Middleton, same thing, MVP, Star Pro, 14K, and then Drew Holiday, same range, 13K. I think all these guys are off a little bit. Giannis should probably be like 16.5. Middleton should probably be 15, and then Holiday should probably be 14. I don't have Trae Young in my player pool right now. I'm probably leaning towards leaving him out for the day completely, based on him having a really bad bone bruise. He says he's in pain, it's bothering him. He's going to try and gut it out. He's definitely going to get a shot and try and play. But Chris Middleton and Holiday are just going to be all over him. PJ Tucker is going to be bothering him the whole time. They're definitely going to play him rough. They're going to beat him up a little bit. The Hawks looked pretty good with the second unit on the court last time, so I'm interested in what adjustments they make going into this game. But right now, I think Trae Young is more of a facilitation and diversion piece tomorrow than he is his usual take charge of the game, be the number one guy, scorer. So for that reason, I don't necessarily like him occupying certainly any of these spots in the pool. And in general, I don't really want to spend 15K on a Trae Young that can get me 30 points when Drew Holiday or John Collins can get you 30 points in that range, and you're saving yourself $2,000 to $3,000 in salary. I think Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday are all interchangeable between the 2x and the 1.2x in this range. It really depends on game flow and just kind of how it goes. Next up, we got John Collins. This is the range I like in the pro utility. At 12K, Clint Capella, 11.5. Kevin Huerter, 1100. I definitely think these three guys, along with Bogdanovich and Gallo, are going to be stepping up a lot tomorrow. And probably one of your best bets is to get somewhere in a combination of one of these four and possibly Lou Williams mixed in for some price savings, depending on how you think the game flow is going to be. Brook Lopez, he's only 10K tomorrow. That's a very good price for him, in my opinion. Bogdanovich, 9.5. Danilo Gallinari, 9.5. Bobby Portis, this is a strictly utility range I like, is 8,500. PJ Tucker, 8K. Connaughton, I kind of like Lou Williams over Connaughton. I think Lou Williams is going to get a lot more of a run tomorrow, pending Trae Young's health condition. Connaughton, 7,500. Lou Williams, 7K. And then the last person I like that's making it in my player pool, pending news on Trae Young, but like I said, I'm not trying to get a lot of Trae Young exposure at all. I'm trying to just fade it. Is Bryn Forbes at 6,500. Fading Trae Young might bite me tomorrow. It might pay off, but like I said, I think the game flow, the narrative from what I've seen, just watching the games and just watching how replays and playback film of how they're playing defensively, how they're zone guarding him, moving up the double, defending the pick and roll really well now the last couple games, and really kind of crunching down on him after they've made those adjustments. I don't see Trae Young playing as effectively, especially with being how hurt he is. So that's all I got for today, guys. Really appreciate it. So once again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when all the videos go live. It really helps me be an independent content creator. Really appreciate the love, and watch out for the video coming tomorrow. Good luck, guys. Have a good rest of your day.